Harry's Wife. Part 101.18. Wired for Sound? Threat to Control? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. In Parts Passim, Part 101.8, Shameless, Wired for Sound, ? I commented upon speculation that has been rife across social media that Harry's wife might have turned up wired for sound in her recent appearance on the Windsor Walkabout. Of course, there's no clear evidence, but there's plenty of speculation pointing to mysterious lumps and bumps about her person to support the suggestion that she might have been wired for sound. In my video, I addressed this and also the rationale behind why she possibly might have been. The level of observation, commentary and speculation was such that, of course, it has actually come to Harry's wife's attention. How do we know this? Because there has been an attempt to nullify this clear threat to control posed by all this speculation through a PR puff piece appearing in the supine Daily Mirror. You may recall from Tom Bower's Revenge that Harry's wife maintained that she didn't look at press, didn't read what's being said about her, doesn't watch what's being commented about her, but we know from Tom Bower's work that this was incorrect. And, of course, this accords with the narcissist's need to know both about the good and the bad in relation to herself. Love me, hate me, but never ignore me. Accordingly, such is the level of speculation and the forms in which it's appeared, it's come to the attention of Harry's wife. The suggestion that she was wired for sound is one that offends her sense of control because it suggests that she's up to no good. It suggests that she's doing something that she shouldn't be doing, that she's underhand, deceitful, and that accordingly collides with her deluded view of herself as being a wonderful, delightful person. Irrespective of the fact that if she were wired for sound, her narcissism would still cause her to say, "You might have been, but they're not allowed to comment that you were." Issue a denial. Of course, were she not wired for sound, then this untruth about her will similarly offend her sense of control. So, whether she was wired for sound or not, the very fact that it is being commented about is a threat to control. If she was, the fact that she has in fact been caught threatens her sense of control, and if she were not wired for sound, the suggestion that she was similarly threatens her control by having an untruth told about her. In both instances, this substantial threat to control posed by so much speculation across social media, also being picked up in mainstream media, means her narcissism has to do something about it, and it's clearly come on her radar. And her narcissism has caused her not to assert control directly by contacting everybody who has expressed an opinion, created a video about it. She hasn't got the time or the energy or the reach to do that. And instead, it causes to assert control indirectly by instructing the PR agencies, probably no doubt aided and advised by those relevant PR agencies, whichever one is acting for her now, to say, there's a lot of chitter-chatter about you being wired for sound, not a good look for the optics, you need to quash it. And she will agree with that. So whether she issued the diktat or whether it's in tandem with advice that she's received, the outcome is that relevant supine PR publications such as People.com, Tatler, Harper's Bazaar, Town and Country and so forth, and the Mirror are instructed to issue, in effect, what is a rebuttal. And therefore, we turn to the Mirror with an article by Kyle O'Sullivan which states, "Ludicrous Harry's wife wearing microphone at Queen Walkabout. Theory shut down." A ridiculous theory suggesting Harry's wife wore a recording device underneath her dress while greeting mourners who had come to pay their respects to the Queen is not true. So, bah! You're all told now, aren't you? The article continues. Harry's wife did not wear a microphone to greet well-wishers at Windsor Castle, and a ludicrous theory that she had a recording device under her dress has been shut down. The Duchess of Sussex supported her husband, Prince Harry, as they looked at the floral tributes outside and greeted a large number of people who had come to pay their respects to the Queen. The Sussexes arrived alongside the Prince and Princess of Wales, reportedly following 45 minutes of negotiations between the two camps. Stepping out of the same car as the Fab Four, were reunited for the first time since the Commonwealth Day service in early 2020. With the microphone theory being discussed online, a source close to Harry's wife told Page Six, "This is insane and actually damaging to her. Of course she was not wearing a mic." Oh, well, unidentified source, we believe you, thank you. Some critics had audaciously claimed that Harry's wife was wearing a microphone under her dress because of a crease seen at her waist. Well, there is a crease at her waist, which could be a wire, and it could be a crease. It also doesn't explain the box that's underneath it, but there we are. Some critics had audaciously claimed that Harry's wife was wearing a microphone under her dress because of a crease seen at her waist, but it was clearly just that. "The waist outline sure looks like a mic pack," said one person, while another added Harry's wife was wearing some sort of device that you could see the square outline of during the walkabout, likely for recording purposes. However, many more people rushed to shut down the laughable claims. "It's just a creases in the dress, nothing else," wrote one. Well, if I had a square crease like that, I'd be rather concerned about the fabric that I was wearing. A second said, "You people are pathetic." Thanks for that. A third agreed, "Maybe she wears her belt on the inside, and that's the buckle. I often wear my belt on the inside with the buckle off-centre. I'm sure many people do." No, they fucking don't. Who on earth wears a belt on the inside? First of all, how does that practically work? Do you turn your trousers, your pants, your jeans inside out? Because the loops through which your belt goes are on the outside. What a fucking stupid thing to say. At one stage, Harry's wife affectionately rubbed Harry's back, reassuringly. So she both did it reassuringly and affectionately. She's that talented. Before linking arms with her husband as a tender show of support. You know from parts passing, it's not that. And then the rest of the article is just regurgitating stuff that we already know from the Windsor Walkabout. But the point of this article, of course, it has been generated to try and stymie the speculation about her being wired for sound. What it doesn't do is explain what it might have been with any accuracy. Why not state, actually, I'm taking medication at the moment, and that's what that square is. Even if it's not true, it sounds more plausible rather than bollocks about belts being worn on the inside. And of course, with regard to the crease, it does look like a crease, but it could also be a wire. The fact is, as I explained in parts passing, the nature of Harry's wife means she's going to attract speculation such as this. It also raises a potential problem of, methinks the lady doth protest too much, as uttered by Queen Gertrude when she was watching the play within the play of Shakespeare's Hamlet. There might be a Streisand effect with all of this, that she's drawing more attention to something which hitherto could have gone away. To my mind, however, that it's got sufficient traction on social media that the better thing to do done would just be carry on and ignore it. But instead, by trying to meet it and suggest that it's nonsense just because you're saying that it's nonsense doesn't actually mean that it's necessarily nonsense. The nature of the news report is just to say, these are ludicrous claims and it's been shot down. No. All you've said is, that's not a mic, but without providing any clear evidence that it's something else. The speculation continues. You can make your own mind up from what you've seen as to whether you think she's mic'd up or not, layered with my information about the likelihood of that being when you're dealing with a narcissist. But the point is, this has come to the attention of Harry's wife, and in order to nullify the threat to control, a diktat has been issued to quash it by saying this is simply not true. And, it would appear, once again with the collateral consequences with which you're so familiar in relation to Harry's wife, the attempt is actually going to backfire, causing more people to look at it and think, actually, the very fact that you feel a need to say that it's not may well suggest that it actually is. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.